Page 28, Moonlight Music. On this page, they're introducing you to the key of F sharp major. You don't get this key a lot, but you do get it. It's there, so let's talk about it. It's got 6 sharps. F sharp major has 6 sharps. Well, that's interesting. We only got 5 black keys. We got 6 sharps. Remember, though, that a white key can be a sharp, too. And that's what's happening. So the sharps are always in the same order. The first one is always an F sharp. And the second one is a C sharp. The third is a G sharp. The fourth is a D sharp. And the fifth is an A sharp. That's all 5 of the black keys. And then the 6th sharp is an E sharp, which is here. That's an E sharp. And that's it. And yes, you can have up to 7 sharps or flats. Well, I'm sure they'll get to the 7th later. Generally speaking, and I explain this in the videos, the F sharp major is the same as the G flat major as far as the keys on the piano go. And G flat major only has 5 flats. And it's generally easier to read 5 flats than it is 6 sharps. A lot of times you'll see music with 5 flats in it. You don't see 6 sharps that often. However, you do see it, so you need to be aware of it. I have scale videos on that. You should go do 1 octave up and down on that, and also go ahead and do the arpeggio. The arpeggio is simple because it's all black keys. It's just that one here. It's a little tricky because when you're playing black keys, you can slip off and miss them more easily, but I discussed that in the video, the arpeggio video. Now, let's talk about this. It's 1 page long, treble and bass clef. We already talked about the 6 sharps in the key signature, the key of F sharp major. 4 time signature. Let's cover it 1 hand at a time. Make sure we got all this notes figured out. We're here. And basically, in this kind of a key, when most of them are black keys, you're going to be up in here. There's not a lot we can do about it. Do the best you can. You can slide out here occasionally for the B, because that's the only white. Well, you have an E sharp, but otherwise they're all black keys here. See, all those are black keys. And then in the second line, F sharp, A sharp. And then here, again, you're up here, but there's no black key here, so you got a little more room. And then here, and you do that again. And then you back down to here. Bottom line, second measure, E sharp now, here, and I go up here with 2-5 for the A sharp, F sharp, yeah. So I'm going from here to here. If it'll help, then in the last line, play the first measure with 1 and 2, and then you're just going to slide off for the F sharp or the E sharp. So it's and use 3, and then you can do that. It's up to you. I can do that. There's different ways of fingering it. You decide on one and then pencil in what you want and stick with it. Left hand, we have 3 and 5, 5 and 3 here, and then they want here. If you don't want this, then you got to come up here. You got to second. I'll leave that up to you, the size of your hand. And the second line is now second line, third measure. It's a 2-1. You're going to play it with second finger, and then while you hold it down, you put the thumb on it. Well, it's a finger substitution, and that's how it's notated. So, and the idea is you got to come way down here for this, and this the thumb lets you get a little closer to it. Because the second finger, you're up here. You got to go further. So with the thumb, you can reach down a little more. And then you're back to what you were doing. Last line is here. They're all sharped. Everything's sharped but the B, so just go with it. And then 5-1, play with 5th, and then put the thumb on it. That way you can reach the bottom F sharp. I'm connecting it with the fingers. So it's thumb. And then just scratch up and you can get it on that. Put the hands together. And here we just want to know which hands are in here, depending on how you're fingering it. And the second line, Right hand's tied. Anyway, you put the hands together. And then go back over it carefully and get rid of the hesitations so it's a steady beat. And then we'll think about the articulation. And here it's connected. You can lift up between the phrases. Lift up. And you can lift up both hands. Lift up. Lift up. So put in the phrasing. And they tell you at the beginning between the stabs there, it has a legato. That tells you to connect the notes. Well, the slurring tells you to connect the notes too. And you can see how the pedaling suggestion is going to connect the notes. So it's pretty sure by now you're getting the hint. You should connect the notes. Yeah. You can still lift up for the phrases. Every 2 measures is a new phrase. You can lift up for those. Then the dynamics, P for piano, and that's the melody. It's the right hand. Whatever you think soft is. Left hand, very soft. Now this is a bit of a problem here in the way this is written. The last measure, the first line, that D sharp, that's melody. Can you play that note louder than that note at the same time? Otherwise, just play it. Don't worry about it. Just try not to play the B too loud. We want to hear that. Now, what I typically will do in something like this, if I'm having a problem bringing out the melody like this, I'll just have the right hand play it. Because all I got to do is come down and use 4th finger instead of 3rd, and I got it. I can play them all in the right hand. Then I'm just going to play the B. Here, and that way I've got the melody. That's what I'm after. I want the melody. But then going on, I'm out of position. I got to come up here. Yeah, that's fine. Because I can do 2, 3 here, and if I need to, because I was here, I can do that. But then the second line, melodies in the left hand. That's what we want to hear. Back to the right hand. And then the left hand at the bottom. Here. That last measure there, that's not melody. The melody ended with the next line. That's it. And then this is like a soft like backup. Okay. It should be clear to the listener that the last note you play at the bottom is not melody. It's accompaniment. So you're playing it way softer, I hope. Then the speed. Andante, well, it's a nice casual here. It's just a nice gentle stroke. Huh? Well, careful, because when you get the whole notes, you're gonna want to speed it up a little bit. So you have to keep counting. Don't speed it up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. And at the end of the second line, that note, you can't really tell if that's melody or not. If it is, bring it out. If it isn't, like at the bottom, if it's not melody, then play it softer. Like, let's keep it down, keep it soft. That's interpreting the music. You'll have to decide whether you think that note is melody or not, and then if so, bring it out. Or treat it as you see fit, I guess. Then the pedal. Well, it's nice to have pedal on slower moving things because that colors it, gives it overtones. Because when you play these notes, you got time to hear them. And they just sit there and do nothing. So if we can give it a little overtones, give it a little flavor. But we have to be careful because otherwise we'll smear it up. On the other hand, maybe the smeariness is part of the atmosphere of the piece. You know, Moonlight, is that smeary or not? Well, that's interpretation. You're going to have to decide how you want it. It's going to be overlapping pedal. So the notes go down first and then the pedal. I'm going to change the pedal after I play the notes, but I'm going to lift the pedal with the hand so I can hear the phrasing. Don't have to. I could cover up the phrasing too. So at the beginning, the pedal, or the hands first, then the pedal. And then change it notes. And if you want the phrasing, lift the pedal up with the hands. Lift it up. That's it. Now, if you want to cover up the phrasing with the pedal, then you overlap like the first line. I'm going to lift with the hands anyway. I want to feel the phrasing, but I'm going to overlap the pedal. That's up to you, and that's interpretation. I like to hear the silence, so I'm probably going to lift it up, but that's just me. You don't need to. And that's how it's pedaled throughout. There is a retardando at the bottom there. The last couple measures you're here. Okay. Don't slow down a lot, because it's not going too fast anyway. Just slow down. I would suggest you die away also. You come down to very soft there too. The fermata, or the hold at the end of the third line, I'm not sure why she wants a hold there. In my mind, I would not hold it. I would just keep going. But the hold is, if you want to put, I would tend to want to crescendo just a little bit, because if you're going to hold that out, then I would tend to, ba 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 ba, and then come back down, and then soft. See, I can get louder and softer as I feel this. Yeah. Here, I can do that. I tend to crescendo through that. You don't have to. Maybe you go the other way. You experiment with the dynamics and how do you feel it. Try it different ways at different times you're playing it and get into it. Feel it.